into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Well, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers when you want to chop up a little nuts for cake. Cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup. Making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now, that can be used for sardine cans, square cans, or round cans, exactly the same way. Now, this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven. Catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it. Makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now, the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way, and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this. Drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat.
That might help. Let's see, now do I have an echo? Yeah. There we go. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's had a lovely day. I've had a pretty good day today. Got up early, got a quick run out to the supermarket, or rather a walk out to the supermarket. Pick up the last few things. Filtered the oil, but we're going to use that again tonight. And we're also going to be doing cake. Tonight's National Southern Food Day. So we're doing country fried steak, cream gravy, cream sausage gravy, mashed potatoes. Have corn on the menu there. Didn't get corn. So we're not going to do corn tonight. Maybe we'll, I think I've got some peas in the freezer. Maybe we'll do some peas up instead of that. I did get butter. That was a good move. Probably should have bought 2 pounds, but I only bought 1. Lastly, we're going to be doing a peach upside down cake. Going to be using canned peaches due to the time of year. And so that'll be different. I've done it before with fresh peaches that I peeled myself. Quite a project. Going to see if I can handle doing it with canned peaches this time. Hopefully it'll turn out just as good. Yes, I do. Thank you, Nan Reader. Welcome in. And hello there, Amazing Peter Gaming. You're up late. Or early. I'm not quite sure what time it is there. So we're going to get started with doing the peach upside down cake. After I finished rinsing a couple of things here that I obviously missed when I was getting the kitchen ready. Alright. So this upside down cake is going to go in this pan. And we're going to start by doing a caramel with butter and brown sugar. And let's see how much we need of these. Preheat our oven 350. And well, hello. Glad you stopped by. Hopefully you've had a lovely day. We start with 4 tablespoons of butter here. Just cheat and use the little guide that they use. Yeah, butter. How much brown sugar do we need? 3/4 cup. It's used for sugar before, I'm fine with that. Drawer. Hey, Miss Bonson Bonbon. How are you this evening? Welcome in. We're celebrating National Southern Food Day today with all Southern themed dishes. So that's 1/4 cup, so we need 3 of these bad boys. quite lovely. Had a pretty good day. Got up and got going. Put this guy and add this guy to my brown sugar container. Went and got myself a little container here with a little moisture retaining puck, so it keeps my brown sugar from drying out on me. I do too. I did it last year. I'm trying it again this year with canned peaches instead of fresh ones. So, see how it turns out this way. But we're starting out with our caramel back here. Sort of cheating at caramel to use brown sugar, but thank you for that sub, Nan Reader. Appreciate that. One for wet ingredients, one for dry ingredients. Should probably make sure the one for dry ingredients that I just cleaned is actually dry. Yeah, we're good over here too. Start with our dry ingredients. 1 3/4 cup, maybe more than I have in my yep. Need a bit more than that. It's gonna cheat. He says, not thinking of the fact that he'll probably need flour like 5 other times tonight. Hey, Doomation. Welcome back. How you doing tonight? So this is smelling good back here. And cut the heat on that now. Allow that to set while we finish working on this other half here. Probably should have sifted that flour. Alright, oh well. Guess we won't do that. We're looking... Oh! We also need to add something else over here. Nice. Have to let us know if you get them. And I'm going to start my celebrating right now. We're going to add a little of this to there. Butter and sugar, Doomation. Yep. That's all you need. Little vanilla is usually a little good, or something else, but butter and sugar. Okay, I keep looking back when I don't need to. 3/4 cup granulated sugar. Yeah, we're doing this with the dry ingredients. Butter and sugar, heat in the pan. Don't touch it. It burns. Don't use fancy sugars like sugar in the raw. Baking powder, salt. I've had Wagyu before. Don't believe I've had A5. I sort of doubt many people really have. My recommended page for what, Leo? Baking soda or baking powder. Salt. So we'll call that mixing that all together. Over here we'll start into our wet ingredients. Oh, we should take this out. Hello. Give me 1 second while I unwrap this in a manner that not everyone sees the wrapping. take our steak out here. Allow that to dry out a bit. I think it's SR Dumation. But our battle is ready here, so it'll be on the screen here in a second. See how we do here. My current quest is to place pallies, and so I will be placing pallies as much as possible for these battles. I don't know if it's got more than a 30-minute timer or not. So you guys can get the rogues to get all the chests. There we go. That was my first of 4 paladins, hopefully. Congrats, Entropy, and okay, I got a little Kenny. Entropy with the kills. Oh, let's see. We want to go after the reward, don't we? Yeah, I think we want to go after the reward. And if you guys want to join in, there is the link right there. streamrators.com/t/chefjt. And I can't place another pally. So let's... What do we got here? Let me click on you. Where are you? Melee. The heck is this guy? He's a Spriggan. Armored. I'll throw my Zerker out here. Go after this guy and come back after those. Maybe more will pop up over time. And there's also a link in chat if you guys are looking to get into the game. You can add a new player to the field every 5 minutes. Level up your army and make ever powerful characters. And join in. So we need eggs. I actually sort of like that custard or pudding that I made on Wednesday. I haven't really gotten back to it since Wednesday night, but it turned out pretty good. It was like, it almost turned into like a cereal pudding. I got another dozen right here. I guess I only needed one. Happy Friday night, Huberman. Welcome in. And hello, Miss Lisa Face. I'm not keeping up with things. Hello there, Perkins Zone. Hi, everyone. Shooting for 3/4 of a cup here. And we're going to take that eggshell out of here that I didn't notice before. RCA. Gonna have a fruity bowl. Oh, we're just getting started, Huberman. We made a caramel on the back stove there. That's what's in the pan there. That's brown sugar and butter and a little bit of bourbon. And here on the counter, I was weighing out my dry ingredients. We got our dry ingredients for our upside down peach cake. And our wet ingredients here. And need a little bit of oil. Yeah, use the same thing. And whisk. Put the whisks over there so I don't... And I still do the jump back and forth. So we're mixing this until this is nice and combined. And then we're gonna... Where is my trivet? Over here. Bring you over here. Pull out our canned peaches. We just carefully lay these all in the same direction here. Hey Suki, how you doing tonight? Happy Friday to you as well. Oops, that's a partial one. Very carefully, did not touch the fork with my mouth there. That was a precision chef move there. Got another broken one here. Suki, you know this glass. This glass is good for not just good bourbons or whiskeys for that matter. It's also great for tasting olive oils. I suggest you give it a try. That's what you get when you put things in the wrong place. Just got peach juice on the lid of my flour container because I wasn't paying attention to where I put things. Messy kitchen, messy mind. Or messy station, messy mind. It's a mess of a slice there. Actually, the proper way that you taste olive oils is with bread. Or at least that's the way I've always heard that it's comparatively tasted. There we go. We'll save that for something else in the future there. And I got away with 2 cans. I was worried if I was going to have enough with 2 cans. Thank you, Miss Lisa Face. Thank you for the follow, Luca Gamer. Let's give this a quick whisk here and make sure all this is combined with our sugar flour. This too. Oh, they make all sorts of flavored oils. You have a lot of, since grapes grow in the same locations of oils, or of olive oil trees, you'll have a lot of vineyards that also produce olive oil. There's a fair amount, There's a fair amount of olive oil producers here in Sonoma County. They're all sort of like small, home-based ones, mostly working online and that sort of a thing. But they also make a fair number of grape-flavored vinegars and stuff like that. That's all wine country, secondary and tertiary products. I mean, you already got the crushers for the grapes. I mean, these days, you got specialized crushers for grapes. But back in the day, you could use those stone mill grinders for olives just as well as grapes. We're just combining until this is sort of all moist. But, yeah. Trying not to work it too much. Mostly just folding. Okay. And then we're just going to sort of dollop this on top. And then spread it out as much as we can without disturbing those peaches too much. This is going to rise quite a bit, so I do hope it to easily fill out this pan, even though it might be a little rough to fill it out there.
Cheers.
Thank you for that, sub Miss Lisa Face. Appreciate that. Thank you. It's 2 months. Hopefully I haven't moved those peaches too much. I know I've jerked them around a little bit, especially over here. All right. Nice. Not familiar with the model, but I don't really follow them that much. I mean, I've had my phone for 3-4 years now. 2.5, 3 years? I'm exaggerating. But still, it's been long enough that I haven't been paying attention. Yeah, I prefer a larger phone myself. Need more agua. So we got a 350 degree oven. We're going to set that in there. This is going to cook at least 30 minutes. Didn't butter the pan at all there, I guess, with the caramel in the bottom. I didn't do it with the caramel last time. So we're trying different recipes. Different methods. Though you may notice... You also may notice that... Oop, this way. The slideshow's been updated. So there's some newer photos up there. It still has all the old ones too, and it randomly changes, so it's not in any order. But there's new and old in there. Like that's Donuts Day. Yeah, I spent about 2 hours on that actually today. Because it's a square. So I have to go and crop all of them down to a square size. And then I store them in 3 different sizes for 3 different purposes. And so I take them, I square them all up, and then I downsize them to 1080 to 480 and 320. Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that, Huberman. Let's do a little dish cleanup here while we got that in there. We gotta set a timer though, so that I don't forget it. Take a look at that in 30 minutes. Eggplant. I've never been a huge aubergine fan, but it's not something that I consider offensive either. Yeah, I'm sure you were talking about eggplant. Yeah, people don't realize all the extra small stuff you have to bother with in order to do it. I mean, networking and that stuff. Yeah, we'll throw them over here. Put you back. Put the cap back on you and put you back. It'd be a hard one to do for dessert. There's all sorts of things you can do with eggplant as far as dinner. I mean, eggplant parmesan is the first thing that comes to my mind. Got that going, we got that going. Let's get going on steak stuff. Let's start making our gravy. Just regular old mild Italian sausage here. Yeah, I wouldn't be too keen on eggplant ice cream. My main issue with eggplant is it's essentially like foam with a leather outside to it. Neither part of it. I mean, the skin does nothing for me. I say leather, but it's more like pasted on paper. It's got decent thickness to it, but it's really thin. I mean, it's got decent strength to it while being thin, but the inside is just like this white foam with seeds in it. And yeah. But the only thing I want to do with it is bread it and fry it, so I don't have to deal with what it originally was. But you can do all sorts of things with them. We got anything left in you? Oh, we got a drizzle left in you. It's amazing how you empty a oil bottle and set it down, and 15 minutes later it's got another 10 drops in the bottom. But I think we're just doing one of those guys tonight. Yeah. We're just doing it for sauce. And there are all sorts of eggplants. Like, one of you guys was asking why it was called eggplant the other day. And as I was saying then, most of them you see in the supermarket are like the one you had the emote there a couple minutes ago. They're big and purple, but the original eggplant was like maybe larger than a chicken egg, but maybe like a duck egg size, and it's white. These all from the same streamer here, Huberman? I know Soulsea. The other ones are from Soulsea, aren't they? Yeah. She loves her eggplants. That's not very exciting to stare at my board there when I'm cooking sausage. Yep. She seems to have done pretty good with her transition to Twitch, I think. I mean, I honestly haven't seen her stream ever, but I've seen her Twitch and stuff like that, or Twitter and stuff like that from Mixer connections and Mixer. You see the other people's stuff. Bottle. Time for bottle. I finish searing this sausage first. We're going to get lots of flavor out of this sausage. But I just wanted to get a point where we can hold off for a moment here. So we can do that. Bottle. Let's see how we do. Oh, there's a little mushroom man. Shroom guy. I don't know if I consider myself a food scientist. Inch P with the kills. Oh, that's because I died. Leo Zio with the 50 gold. Grats. Hey, 175 gold for me. Because I need that. Oh, let's see, I need to add another pally. To line up after me there. Maybe one rogue over here. And then the rest of it here. We'll eventually get this guy. I don't know if that's really going to be key for us winning or not. But there you go. Go ahead and add your characters to the field. And add a new one every 5 minutes. Let's go back to making sauce. So we're going to take this half-cooked sausage. Not even half-cooked. Just seared sausage, basically. Quarter it. And then dice it. And we're going to throw it back in the pan. Heat's back on there. Should wait in a moment. Need that to warm back up again. The downside to this is this knife is now definitely contaminated. This board is definitely contaminated. And you now need to heat this back up to over 165 because we've mixed everything together. And so all those parts that you seared for safety, we did it for flavor. But if you seared them for safety, they've been mixed in with all the raw stuff now, and so they're all coated with whatever bacteria you're worried about. So I'm going to go straight over here to the sink, clean my knife off, clean my hands, make sure everything that's raw is now gone from worry. Turn the heat down on that. We're still at a decent cooking temp. We're above boiling still. I'm definitely going to need more flour, so we're pulling the big boy out. Adding a pretty heaping tablespoon of flour here to the party. And we're essentially going to coat our sausage in that. That's going to turn into somewhat of a roux here. I'm going to turn that temp down a little bit more. And I think we're going to need a little bit of butter in there to work along with this. The sausage wasn't quite enough for that amount of flour. Yeah, add a little bit of butter in here. See, now my knife is clean. I don't have to worry. And quickly contaminated with butter, but I'm not worried about butter. So we're making a roux here basically with our sausage in the pan still. Continuing to work that all in. Nice, Suki. Glad to hear that. And we're going to switch to water. We're going to add a cup of water in here now that that roux is developed. Now that the water has cooled things down and before it gets back to a full boil, we're going to add our cream, just so that helps it from curdling too much. I'm just going to finish that container off. That should be good. I could have chopped the sausage up a bit finer here. I wasn't really thinking too much that it was a sauce when I was chopping it, I guess. But go a little finer when you do it yourself. because we're going to have a little bit more chunky sausage in our sauce tonight. I'll take a piece of paper towel here and dry off the top of my piece of top round. Do the same thing over here. Milk and sausage. Yeah. Oh, hey. That might help for you guys too. That's down too low there. We need to bring this back up to a boil. While we're doing that, we can get our arm tired by adding pepper. That's about right. Let's give that a stir and see where we're at. Yeah, it probably needs more. But we'll wait for that to thicken up on us. I know what that word is. Oh wait, maybe I don't. Where's the meat? The meat? Drying that off as much as possible here to start. Cake's in the oven. Got another almost 9 minutes there. This is starting to thicken a little bit, but it's still not there. Do have the oil here from last week. Let's get going on some taters here for alongside things. Kept these guys for a little too long. They're trying to grow on me. Good, Leah. I'd want to cut them up into a bunch of pieces, but I'm not interested in growing potatoes at home. I am planning on doing a planting stream here soon. As I've said before, I saved up all my cardboard tubes for the year, and yeah, let's go all the way through. Going to use those to plant seeds this year. I haven't gotten around to that just yet, but that's definitely going to be a Monday project here, I think. And we'll probably be on stream. Although it may be just me filling cones with dirt and packing seeds in them. Start with a tree just for fun. I have a tree. I mean, there's trees on the property, but I also have a potted tree. I have a citrus tree. Meyer lemon tree. Not exactly native, but it's potted too, so. And they grow enough of them around here that I don't think it really matters. Mostly dicing these up to, I explain this every time I do this, but mostly dicing these to have a maximum size of skin when it comes to mashing them. Ooh, that is not boiling. Awesome. And so yeah, that does need a bit more pepper in my opinion. But we're going to turn that way down low and let that just hang out now. Welcome, Raiders! Hi there. I'm Jason. Stream here 3 nights a week on Twitch. Do dinner here. Welcome in. Hey, BB Bubs. Thank you for that raid food experiment. How were the rest of your potato chips? I was hanging out in your stream a little bit earlier. He was making some great potato chips. And if you want to talk about a food experiment, I am not nearly a food experimentalist that he is. Should give him a follow as well. So thank you for those follows. We got a whole bunch of follows here. We got Bramblebush, Vanilla Cuin, Opossum Lifts. Welcome in. We're doing Southern food dinner, or Southern food tonight. It's National Southern Food Day. I was just about to get started with some mashed potatoes. I've got cream gravy going here on the stove, or sausage and cream gravy. I was just about to add a bit more pepper into the party here, and still thickening up a little bit with its roux. I'm going to be making chicken fried steak, so I'll be frying up that steak on the counter there shortly. And I've got a peach upside down cake in the oven, and that's got another 2.5 minutes here until we take a first look at that. It's probably going to take more than 30 minutes though, so probably going to have to take a little bit longer. Thank you for the follow, Nicole Roll. Nicole Rowe. Words, names. Welcome in. So, potatoes. Grab our pan here. And I'm leaving the skins on for my mashed potatoes. I've diced them up so none of the skin pieces are going to be that huge. So it's not like you're going to get big strands of potato or something in there. Also helps with the cooking time to keep things cooking around the same time, but don't need to cook them nearly that, or cut them nearly that small to do that. So how is everyone tonight? I'm going to move this guy to the back burner now. Handle's a little warmer than I expected there. We'll get that up to a boil. We got scrambles going in the chat. You can join in by typing !scramble. Get 10 sprinkles for guessing right. They're all food-related scrambles, or at least food industry related. And yeah. Other things go on here. I cook on Friday and Sundays. Those are typically planned ahead. There are a long list of upcoming dates down below in my info section, or about section. And the Wednesdays, we have a weekly Discord vote. I have this week, we have ramen versus pickled ginger going on here. We've got ramen with an early lead, and pickled ginger with 3 supporters. Quiet oven. So you guys can go ahead and make your vote for that. And on Wednesday, I will then have to either make dinner and dessert, so savory and sweet versions of both ramen, using ramen as an ingredient, or pickled ginger as an ingredient. Yeah, I'm sort of rooting for pickled ginger myself here. Got cream sauce going too hot again back here, so I have to give that another stir. So I got oil. I used oil on Wednesday. This is the same oil, I just drained it and cleaned out the pan and put it back in there. And let's cut some meat. This is not what I would think the typical cut you would buy for this dish. This is a little bit nicer of a cut. Normally I would think more like cube steak, something tenderized to death. I'm actually going to follow these natural seams and just break this down into 3 here. Maybe we'll save those for some other cute project here. And then I'm going to have the rest of this. Just sort of eyeballing it. I didn't get that hugely even. Could have done a little bit better with that. But those will pound out until two nice steaks here. And I am going to tenderize these a little bit, even though they don't really need it. But I want to flatten them out a bit. And these guys, I think I might just save these guys for another day. Also, for those joining us, just recently we have Stream Raiders going. So if you are Stream Raiders fans, that is happening here every 30 minutes. Pull out my favorite instrument in the kitchen. My tenderizer. Stream Raiders, it's a in-game battle that works with viewers. Every 30 minutes we have a battle that shows up on the screen here. You can add characters to the field and join in on the challenge. And if you join in, the address there is at the top of the page, or if you may be able to scroll up and chat and find it. But it's streamraiders.com/t/chefjt. And there are many streamers here on Twitch that also play this as well, so you can play with multiple streamers at the same time. And maybe you'll find a couple other interesting streamers playing. There we go. A little bit more violent than I would normally treat my steaks. Thank you, Suki. I really need to get a command for that. I thought I started one. And I think I'm just going to do seasoned flour and egg tonight. I'm going to skip breadcrumbs. Yeah, they're fun. They're sort of a novelty thing that I picked up, probably 6-7 years ago. But it's been my primary tenderizing tool since. Flour we got right here handily. Had to break out the big bin of flour tonight. Thank you for the raid food experiment. I know it's incredibly late there over in Europe. I hope you have a lovely evening. Look forward to your Sunday stream, if you're doing your normal Sunday stream. Why don't we hit this up with a little pretzel too. That wants to actually start playing here. There we go. Start by salting these guys pretty heavily. Add a hefty amount of salt over here in our flour. MSG. more black pepper, because there wasn't enough in that cream sauce already. Alright, a little bit more in the pepper cream sauce. Can't have enough pepper in your sausage cream gravy. Let's see, onion powder, which I just need to take the safety seal off of. Oh wow, they make these things harder to get a grip on every time. There's literally there's like no lip on this whatsoever. I mean, it's like precision cut to that lid. Onion powder. Garlic powder. Powdered mustard. New Mexico chili powder. Smoked paprika. Ancho chili. Cayenne. What am I missing? Let's leave it with that. That looks like a good spice mix to me. What do you guys think? I feel like it needs a bit more spice in that flour, though. Let's do our battle. I was just eyeballing it, Suki. No problem. Victory. Who gets the chest? Gratsuki on the kills. Yum Noodle Lick on the assists. Morocco and Suki with the rewards. Grats, guys. Oh, hey, I get a token. And a skin. Yay. Questionable battle. See what we get here. Interesting. What are these guys? Support. After 25 seconds. Let me guess. Rogues go after him. Yep. So, get your rogues out there. We're gonna need couple of counter range here, maybe a tank and a couple support, but primarily rogues I think will do damage. And I'll see you guys in 30 minutes with that. Turn the oil on here to warm up a little bit. I forgot my cake in the oven after the alarm went off. Although thankfully I thought it needed much more than 30 minutes, so we've given it more than 30 minutes. That is looking lovely. We're going to pull that right out. Nice golden color on that bottom. I'm going to give that a little while here before I try and turn that over. Hence why I started this so early here. If you guys are just joining in here, what we have here is a peach upside down cake with a caramel. Started with the caramel in the base, layered the peaches in the top. I've done this before with fresh peaches, though due to the time of year I'm trying it this time with canned. And yeah, let's see how that turns out when it's time to turn out. I think we're going to need some more spice there, yeah. So I'm just going to go back and hit all of them up a little bit more. Gonna have to get more pepper here soon. Starting to run low on my paprika and chilies. Oil's talking to me back there. It means we're getting up there in temp. Let's see what our temp is at. About 190, low 200s there. I'm cheat on the pepper this time and add a little white pepper. I think I'm probably good on salt. Why not? A little more MSG. Now we're getting closer. Now I think you're going to get a little bit of spice in every bite there. You can smell the pepper from here too. Back to the eggs. tried doing this on Wednesday using whisk, and I was thinking about it after. I was like, why didn't I just grab a fork? Would have been a lot cleaner. I risked, not whisked, risked just throwing it all over the place with the whisk. Trying to create tongue twisters for myself here, apparently. Okay. Thoroughly broken down those egg whites now. And we'll start in on the wrong one. Flour first, please. We want to dry these off with our flour and get them nice and lightly coated. Just a light coating this first time, like you're normally doing 3-stage breading. You just want to sort of get a tacky coating on the outside. You don't want it caked on, because when you go into the egg, if you have it caked on, you're going to end up with flour bubbles, and it's going to prevent the egg from really adhering. Make sure we get a good coating. Make sure we didn't have any flour bubbles. Make sure and pop them if we do. And okay, back to the flour. Thank you for that follow, Adavec. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a lovely evening. And I'm not making you too hungry. Yet. Alright. I think that's just about ready for our oil. Although I can sit in that flour for a while. A lot of the times when people make fried chicken stuff, one of the things they don't really say is they'll coat it in flour, and then that flour will continue to, like, this will get moisture looking as it sits here. So we can actually hit that with flour yet another time and get even another layer of flour attached to it. Morning. It's not morning here, but cheeseburgers for breakfast. Yeah, that's my kind of meal. For those just joining in here, we're getting ready to do some frying. But we got sausage, cream and pepper gravy going back here. We got potatoes coming up to a boil here. And our oil is still warming up here. Let's see what temp we're up to here. We're about 330 to 350 depending on where I'm looking in the pan. Don't know if you're able to see that too well or not. Got the top for this right here available in case of emergency. Also have a ABC fire extinguisher, which isn't great for oil, but we'll cut the oil off and deal with anything extra. Nice. Yeah, it's what time is it here right now? It's a little after 6 here now. Hoping to get this closer to I think we're pretty much there. Let's make sure we got a pan ready to accept said steak with a drip rack on it. Let's carefully give this one more flour on this side. Well, maybe we'll give this 2 more flours here, because that needs some work too. I'm just going to keep going until it stops sticking. The more flour we get to stick to this, the better of a nice crust we get on it. And into the oil. Away from me. Dropping it in away from me, rather. That's not going to need much to cook there. So I'm already going to give that a flip. Now I'm just looking for color, basically. I think the steak's probably cooked well enough at this point. I just want some golden. Fine salt over it. I'm going to drop him into the still warm oven. And we'll coat our second piece of steak. Nothing to it. So yeah, nice strong coat, but we need an even coat for our first one here so we don't have any flour bubbles. Into the egg. Back into the flour. There we go. You there yet, potatoes? I forgot and turn these, or rather I messed up and turned these down. So these haven't been at a high heat here. They've only been at a high heat the last like 5 or 10 minutes, unfortunately. Let's see what our oil temp's at. Should be recovered by now. Yeah, we're doing all right here. We're about the same temp we were before. So we'll do another. Again, dropping it in away from me. Heat off over here under the oil. Fine salt on our freshly fried steak, and down in the oven to hang out while we finish our mashed potatoes. Put a lid on this guy and just forget about him until the morning. As usual, I will heat that up to 120-ish. You want it warm and easy to flow because it's oil. And then I just run it through a paper coffee filter. You don't want it much higher than, say, 120 degrees, 130. Because up around 170 or so, you get into worried about dioxins and chemicals being released from the heat into the plastic. So that's why I shoot for low hundreds. Though if you just pour it through cold, it's going to take forever because it just won't go through the coffee filter. It needs the heat in order to make it through. And when I drink coffee, I haven't been drinking coffee lately, but when I drink coffee, I use a Hario drip. And so one day I realized, why aren't I using one of these Hario drip cones for doing my oil? And so that's actually, I actually use a Hario drip cone with coffee filters that I use just for oil. Because, I mean, you can buy the plastic ones for, I forget what they are, $12, $13, $14, which is really rather a rip-off for a piece of plastic, but regardless. And I used an old one, so it wasn't like I bought it specifically for that. Sorry for the bangs and clangs there. How we doing on our boil here? I don't think we're quite there yet. I'm going to move this oil to a back burner because I want some butter and cream for my mashed potatoes. So we'll get that going over here. Yeah, that looks good. I need a little cleanup time, maybe a little relaxed time. How about you guys? I don't know why Pretzel doesn't want to play music tonight. Hey, there we go. Oh, hey, we got some boiling going on here with our potatoes now. That's good. Our cream gravy's looking nice back here. I don't know how much you guys can see, but I'm happy with that. I'm going to turn the heat off on these potatoes and take a look at them, see if they're cooking through. We got our butter there. Let's add some cream to that party. That is probably warm enough to finish melting the rest of that. We'll add a bit of salt in here, because our potatoes are going to need a bunch of salt. Just save us the process of doing that later. Add a little MSG in there too. Some black pepper. Lots of pepper tonight. Not a meal for people that don't like pepper. Let's see, are we... Do I risk that? Do I try and attempt this on stream? Most of my spatulas... Well, actually, most of my spatulas are rubber. Or silicone. But for my spoons... I have a fair number of bamboo spoons, which I'm sorry about bamboo. It's a good cheap material for things that you're not hugely worried with lasting forever, and it's a much more renewable wood than many other sources. At the same time, I think I use bamboo for my wood protein cutting, but It's not the greatest wood for cutting on. Your knife is much more likely to slip rather than bite like it will in my oak wood here. So there's benefits and negatives to bamboo. Fresh pack from Colombia there, Finn. I'm lost. Sorry on Leo. That was a little bit ago. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and drop this onto a plate here. Have a good one, Miss Lisa. Just put the plate right on top. Had a little stickage there. Let's see if we can't carefully fix these little slices here. I think that turned out all right. Give you guys a good close-up on that. Take this up to the main screen here. It is sliding around on the plate a little bit. That top is pretty nice and solid. What's the problem you see there, Advec? I have a feeling it's here and not in front of you. But we have bourbon caramel with peaches and cake. Yeah, I wasn't too worried about the liquid, but I did try to somewhat minimize it. I mean, I was using the fork to pull them out, that sort of a thing. I guess I could have drained them, planning ahead. Well, I do regularly tell people, you figure out the transporter, put my name on that patent, I'll cook you whatever you want. Well, let's take a photo of this before I mess this up. Like the other night, I went and ate the first chicken sandwich without having taken a photo of it. I had to make a second pretty plate in order to get photos for you guys. Oops. There we go. A couple of nice photos of that. We're going to let that cool down even more before I cut it. I actually might wait to cut that until after stream, because that is still quite warm. As you can see, the caramel hasn't fully solidified and all that good stuff. But I did think it was warm enough to get it up out of here. And it does taste good. I got more casualties over here. I'm gonna stop. Need to stop. Very happy with how that turned out. Didn't turn out quite as perfect as the last one. This one does look like that caramel helps a lot. I like how moist this is looking. Hey, Head Mama Bear. How you doing this evening? Welcome in. No corn tonight, unfortunately, guys. I didn't get a chance to get that. But got everything else here tonight. Let's do some mashed potato action here. Actually, no, that wasn't what I was going to do next. I was going to chop up some of these guys next. So we need some garnish tonight. That's probably enough. need a little. I don't think we need the trivet for that anymore. We can move you over here. Potatoes are cooked. I use the lid to strain the water off of those guys. Ah. I lost some. Let's see how much I lost here. That was more than I wanted to lose. Oh well. Small batch of potatoes tonight. Lost more than I wanted to there. I didn't use all the butter and cream in here because we don't have as many potatoes now. But that'll be enough for me for tonight. And I'll use up the rest of the potatoes for tomorrow night. Potato mashers and strainers are like the two things that you absolutely have to clean off just like immediately after you use them. Otherwise, things are going to stick to them. All right, plate making time. Hey, what do you know? More music without lyrics. Some of our gravy back here. I'm actually going to warm this back up a little bit. This may be a bit cold. Thickens up as it gets colder. Might need to add a little liquid to it. I don't know, maybe it got too thick on us while we're waiting. Do our let's do our battle. This will be our best battle of the evening, obviously. Interesting. The rogue sort of skipped the first guys there. I was worried about those first two guys in this map. Victory. The first two guys there, we're going to spawn into something more dangerous after 25 seconds. Or we're going to spawn something. Rene 36, Morocco with the kills and assists. Me realizing that I need to pay a little attention to my sauce back here. Suki with the scroll reward. And, oh... Hey, car guy! Happy birthday. I think this is the second birthday you shared with me. Or maybe I didn't stream on your birthday last year, but you told me about it last year. But now that that's nicely warmed up, let's finish up our plate here. We're going to start with that boss battle next week here, guys. So, either one of these guys, we're going to start with that on Sunday, rather. When we're doing lobster. Let's add some of this deliciousness here. This is our sausage, pepper, and cream gravy. And just green onions just flying everywhere. Oh, you guys don't have a very good view of that, do you? Take a photo of that here. Give you guys a look at the main screen here. I think I'm gonna enjoy this. So, let's see who we can, see what time we're getting to here. 6:33. 2-hour stream, not too bad. A little on the short side, but not too bad. I'm glad I make you hungry, Tenant Eden 90. Tenant Eden 90. Welcome in. Not a name that I remember from before. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. Let's see who we can give a raid to. What's he doing tonight? Why don't we give him a raid? I'm familiar with this streamer from another stream. I have not raided him before. I've never even really hanged out in his chat too much. But he has a very interesting stream where he does all sorts of interesting stuff with glasswork. Not the typical stuff you're assuming, probably. But I think he does some of that too. But does all sorts of interesting projects. So I'm gonna send you guys all off to hang out with. You want a review? Okay, I'll give you a review of the. I'm not gonna break into the. Make sure I got photos this time. I'm gonna take one like that too, just because it looks cool. I'll give this a try here. Although I don't think there's any question. This is just gonna be fucking delicious. Lots of spice. Not too heavy on the salt, though. I was a little worried about that. Yeah, definitely could have cut the sausage a little smaller. Mashed potatoes are just delicious as always. Come on. There we go. Come on. Let's go. Let's see. Let's make sure that I'm going to the right place here. Yeah. Awesome. So, I hope you guys enjoy hanging out there. He's a great streamer. I know him from hanging out in Very Handsome Billy's stream, which I go to almost every evening these days. He streams every night. Another great streamer. He's a partnered musician here on Twitch. I hope you all have a great night. As I said before, going to be back here on Sunday. Going to be doing lobster. We've got the vote going on Discord for Wednesday. Whether you want to make me work with pickled ginger, which my choice of the two, or with ramen, which I'll buy some instant ramen pack of some sort, and we'll work with, well, maybe not instant, but some sort of ramen pack, and I'll use both the flavoring and the noodles in both. So that'll be my ramen dinner as an ingredient. Thank you guys for joining me. See you guys on Sunday. Thank you. Have a great night.